Okay, so good morning. Back again. The Cobra exhaust is fitted. Sorry I couldn't do a sound test last week. The weather was just awful about here. So today, completely different day. So woke up this morning and I thought perfect day for doing this sound test. So got a new GoPro 7, which is now filming here, and I know from my last comments my big camera was there's too much vibration in it, so hopefully the image stabilisation on this is so much better. So I'm hoping when we get back and I do the editing, this footage will be far better than what we've had already. So anyway, I'll find that out later. Right, so I suppose everyone wants to know about this exhaust, and the sound is what I've had loads of questions on YouTube and on Facebook, a bit on Instagram as well. Everyone's keen on hearing it. So my first reaction is when I've literally just started the car up and started moving, so I've only been driving about a couple of minutes. Everyone, as soon as when it's in normal mode, you wouldn't even know you've changed the exhaust, to be fair. It's hardly any difference at all. I'm guessing you can hear from the footage, it doesn't really sound that much difference. From the outside, I would say it's definitely a bit louder, but from the inside here, very, very minimal difference. When you put it into sports mode or racetrack mode, it doesn't affect the exhaust, which mode you're in. Yeah, you can hear us louder, you can hear us upgraded, but inside the cab, it's not annoying at all. I mean, I was expecting, my worst fear was to fit this, and it was just so annoying and so drony that it would just annoy me. I didn't want that, because obviously I do a lot of driving in this car, not just for fun, for business and work as well. So I didn't want it too obnoxious when I was in here. Outside, yeah, I want it loud, I want it to sound good, which it does. And I was quite surprised how quiet it was in here in both modes. Now I've not heard this side by side on a Miltech. I have heard a Miltech, but not with them running both side by side. But this sounds a lot deeper than the Miltech I've heard on another one of these. It just sounds how I wanted it to sound. With the Mountune M235 map, which I've got on here, the pops and bangs on this are just epic. You can, on a downshift from third to second, if you hit it into second and get some high revs and sort of blip the throttle as you do it, yeah, it sounds really good. I'm just trying to warm the car up now, so I'm not going crazy at all. I'd never ever thrash this car without it being up to a complete running temperature. I will go up onto the main road as well and just do a bit of a recording while I'm driving along at normal road speeds. On the 70 mile an hour on the main road near me. Literally now you're going under the bridge of the main road. I went to Felixstowe yesterday. That's about, I don't know, 35-40 miles away from me, and me and my missus were in the car, and she said that she wouldn't even notice a difference if she hadn't known what I'd done to the car when it was in the standard mode. When you put it in the sports mode, you would know. If you've never been in the car before, I don't think you would, but it's exactly what I wanted. The fitting of it was easier, I think easier than I expected. It took a bit of time, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm really happy. Just so you know that there's a bit of wind noise because I've got the sunroof just clicked open a bit. I'm not sure if that makes a difference. I will get some clips in a bit with the sunroof open and the windows open, and then I'll do it with it shut, and I'll edit out which one sounds the worst, so we got the best sound footage. So I mean, the car's now up to temperature. It hasn't been running that long. These do seem to warm up quite quick. I don't know if that's a common thing with these or not, but just another thing, in the last video when I did the startup, there was a lot of exhaust steam coming out of the exhaust. Now that's nothing to worry about. That was a combination of two things. It was quite cold that day, so there was condensation, and obviously the exhaust was brand new, so there's a lot of, I did notice when I was fitting it, there's a lot of like cutting oil and bits of swarf and all that in there from when they've made the exhaust. So now I've used it for a bit, that's all stopped and gone now. There's definitely nothing wrong with the engine. Just to clear that up, I did get one comment asking why it smokes so much, but that's the reason why. It wasn't smoke, it's steam, and because it was cold, because obviously you get the cold air coming out of the exhaust hitting the hot air, and anyway, it is what it is. So the other big thing that people have been asking me about is about this Dyno Rolling Road place that I'm going to be going to. So I have confirmed where I'm going now. I've got the car booked in. It's booked in actually Wednesday and Thursday of this week coming. So the reason I've got 2 days is the guys that I've been speaking to were really interested in seeing this car, because they've said they've not had an opportunity to have a play with one of these, and the guy said, are you interested in us having a look at doing what you want, which was just to get this dyno to know what power I'm pushing, but they were keen on having the car for a little while, and seeing what they can do with it over what the Mountune stuff is doing, because basically the Mountune map is probably one of the tamest maps you can get for this car. So hopefully they reckon they can get a lot more out of this. It is still going to be very safe. So I've agreed that I've took 2 days off work next week when they're going to head the car. I'm going to stay there for the whole time. I don't think there'll be 2 full days, but we've got 2 days booked. So I'm going to stay there. The guys seem really helpful. They want me to film and put stuff on social media to promote what they do as well. I've seen a lot of their graphs and whatnot of other cars that they've done over the last sort of few months as I've been doing this research, yeah, they seem very good at what they do. So the guy said that he'd be quite happy to do a bit of talking on the camera. We're going to try and explain what we're doing, or well, I'll try and explain what we're doing all the way through. My technical knowledge is nowhere near as good as the guys at the place where I'm going. Well, where I'm going to be going, it's called Hybrid Tune. It's in in Suffolk. It's about half an hour from where I live. So yeah, look them up on Facebook, see if you can. They've got a Facebook page. I think they're now trying to grow their social media, a bit like myself. So I think the more people they can get to like what they do and look at what they do, it's going to help them like it helps me with everyone sort of liking this channel. So the more likes I can get on here, the more sort of reactions and stuff I can get, the more things I will be able to do this car. So I'm not doing it for the money, but I mean for what I've done so far, it's cost a lot of money for me, and there's still lots of stuff I want to do. I want to upgrade the brakes. I want to put a 20mm lowering kit on this, and I'm really debating to put some sort of skirt kit round as well. I don't think I'll do much more to that, but we'll see. Right, so we are probably up to temperature now. I just stopped at the red light actually, so I've now just put it in sports mode. You could hear no difference at all. I didn't from here. When you do it with the doors open and whatnot outside, you can hear it straight. I'll do a bit of stationary footage up the road here, so I'm going to take the cameras off and put them near the exhaust, and we'll see what it sounds like. But I should get a decent run up this hill, and I'll shut the sunroof shut, so this is completely sealed up, nothing's on here. don't need to rev this car all the way to the red line. If you change gear at 5,000 revs, the power there is just the best, in my personal opinion. You don't need to rev it to the red line all the time. It's nice to rev it to the red line when you can, but so you stay there, matey. But yeah, 5,000 revs, change gear, the power's there when you drop it. Let me just see now. I'll change gear at 5,000 revs. It takes you back to 4,000, so you're still way in the power band. And this quick shift I've got, I'm loving the quick shift. It's made the car drive so much better. It's just transformed the driving of this car. It's definitely recommended getting one of these, even if you're not a fast driver. Just for the sheer fact of the snappiness of the gear change is just, it's just brilliant. So I'll just get through this 30 here, and it takes a while for the exhaust to get really hot. The hotter the exhaust and the longer you've been driving the car, the more pops and bangs you'll get out of it. It's all about, I do not understand the overrun as much as I'd like, but what basically, the way I understand it, and this might be completely wrong, so don't take this as a given, is when you're easing off the throttle, the car puts some fuel into the ignition chamber, or whatever you want to call it, and it gets pushed back into where the exhaust is, and that's the heat from the exhaust is what causes the combustion and the pops and the bangs. It's something like that, and it's obviously you need the heat from the engine and the exhaust to make the unburnt fuel basically explode in the exhaust. Someone comment below if that's wrong. It's just my understanding of why your car pops and bangs like that. Right, so what I'm going to do, we're not coming out of this 30, so I don't know how windy it'll be with the roof right open. I'll try it first with it just tilted up. I'll crack my window a bit, and I'll do the passenger side, it's about the same. Hopefully this ain't too windy. If it's too windy, I'll just cut it out. But I'll see if I can get it to pop and bang a bit. I think it might be better just with one window open. See if we can get it to pop and bang a bit. There's some nice twisty bits up here, so third to second is the best by far. You just need to flip the throttle just as you're changing gear, and then it's popping and banging quite a bit anyway, but when you're definitely third to second. fun ruined now because of this car. Let's do the window up again while we're following this car, so I can just talk a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, the exhaust is not obnoxious at all, unless you do what I've just done and try and make it bang. I mean, you can pretty much manufacture when you want it to bang if you really want to. I'm still learning what to do to make it bang when I want, but I think you could probably teach yourself how to get it to pop and bang whenever. Doesn't seem to bang so much when I'm changing gear. I think that's because of the map, and I think I'll be able to get that tuned in when I'm at Hybrid Tune next week. So I think that's one thing I want, is it to pop a bit more when I'm changing through the gears. I think that's something that could quite possibly be done, but I'll find out when I get there. The good thing about this is you can put it back into normal mode and you honestly wouldn't even know you've got a upgraded exhaust on there. I mean, it just sounds like stock exhaust, maybe slightly louder, but anyone to the untrained eye would never know. So the place where I'm going, and the sign in front of me, this, it's just up there, so it's about another 10 mile up this road. This is the most bloody unsafe, dangerous road in Suffolk. You can't thrash it down here. There's just there's 50 mile an hour. The police are always about here. But what I wanted to do was to head towards the A14, which runs close to where I live, and I can go from here to the next junction, which gets back to where close to where I live. I'll do a bit of just a road test on there with the roof open, that closed, and I'll sort of edit that in to see if what difference that make to the sound of the exhaust. But when you're cruising along on the main road with the aircon on, you're normally going to have your windows up and everything shut. And even in sports mode, like it is still in sports mode, it's just normal driving. It's just, to the untrained eye or the untrained ear, you would not know. So just we want to talk about the engine mount. Now, I've seen a lot of comments lately about everyone's engine mount sort of breaking. Or the bushes are worn quite a lot. I think it's the Collins one which seems to have the most problems, and I think that might be rectified by now. And I'm sure the people which had problems are having things changed for free anyway. But and to be fair to all these guys that make these aftermarket parts, they literally probably got one car that they can test these things on, and obviously the car, some of these things that are wearing out have probably done 20-30,000 miles. Things are not going to last forever, especially when you're upgrading stuff, so you've got to expect a bit of wear on something which is a lot harder. The bush is harder than what's on stock. It's always going to happen. So I mean, I don't want people to make too much of a fuss about it, because that's part and parcel of having performance parts on your car. So with mine, I've not done silly amount of miles in this since I've had this on. I did check it the other day off camera, because I wanted to just check the torque settings, which I've done now. It looks as good as the day I put it on there. I think with the Powerflex one, which I've got, there was a first gen of this which would look different, and I think that was having problems with the main part of the aluminium braking, I think. But this one I've got, and I didn't realise at the time, and I would have said, it is the second design. So I think they've obviously ironed out the issues with where the breakages were happening, and obviously this now is their second version of this. So I think, and I shouldn't have a problem, but anyway, time will tell, I'm guessing. So yeah, that's with what I've also got is a coming for this is going back to the tuning part, which is happening next week. I've also ordered an Airtec cone filter for this. Now, the idea with that was I asked a question when I was on the phone to the guys at Hybrid Tune, and I said, look, with the Mountune upgrade, you've got a standard box with an extra air feed and a K&N air filter in it. I asked him, is by having an induction kit on the car, will that make any difference? And he said he didn't know. And I said, well, look, for 150 quid, shall I just order one, and we can try that while we're doing the tuning and see which one performs better? Because out of everything that I've done, I think the air filter is going to be the thing that makes the most difference. And just in my mind, I just think an induction kit is going to let more air in than what I've got on here at the moment. So I'm hoping it turns up in time. I did order it middle of last week, but it's still not here, so I'm really hoping it turns up before Wednesday. But that's my thinking with that. So I'm only about a mile away now from the main road, so I'll cut back when I get back up onto the main road. Right, so I just stopped to change batteries on the camera, so I get out here, and the main road's just up the road here, so feel the rear wheel hopping up off the ground here now. So I am going to try and do some 0 to 60s on with this once I've got the tune sorted out. I've had a lot of people ask for 0 to 60 times. I'm not sure I'm going to record it yet because I can do it through an app which connects to the Mountune dongle, but I'm debating whether to buy one of these draggies. The problem is they're like 130 odd quid, and I'm only going to use it every now and again. It's not like it's not. I'd rather spend 120 quid on a part for this. So I'm now 70 mile an hour. With the car in, it's now in sports mode, 6th gear. To me, this is, you wouldn't even know it's got that exhaust on there. I think with the windows open it'll be too windy for the camera, but I will just try the sunroof. This is a sunroof just tilted, with all the windows shut. 70 mile an hour in sports mode. This is now with the roof completely back. 70 mile an hour with the exhaust open. So now I've now got this driver's window open. That much. how you can hear it, but for driving on the main road, the exhaust doesn't make a difference. It's just the wind noise with the windows open that makes the difference. So this is with everything shut again, 70 mile an hour in sports mode. Quiet as a mouse. So I'm now going to go off to a place I just know just up the road here, and try and take the cameras off now. I'm going to sign off here, and at the end of the video I will just drop in the sound clips that I've done. So just before we go, I did do a sound recording of this before I took the exhaust off at the same place, and I know how far the camera was away from the exhaust and everything, so I'll put everything back as close as I can to how it was before when I did the original test. And I also filmed on my iWatch, I have a decibel reading, so I took a decibel reading of the exhaust in normal and in sports mode before I took it off, so I'll try and replicate that now after this video, or after this, and show you what the differences was. I might voice over, or I might just put it in. I'll see how self-explanatory it is once I've edited the film. So and that, keep tuned in for the next video, which will be the dyno. I might have to leave it a little while longer than I normally do when I upload, just because I might not get a chance to edit everything in time, because obviously I normally edit during the week, and I'm not going to be finished there till Thursday night, so it only gives me a couple of days, which knowing me probably won't give me enough time, because I've got a lot of other things I need to do. So I will try and get it out when I normally do on my sort of Saturday sort of drop time for the videos, but it might not happen. But just bear with me if it doesn't. Hopefully it'll be there. I'll try my best. So and I am going to have to cut away from this at some point and get the brakes sorted out on my BMW, because obviously I can't even drive that car until the brakes are sorted out. They're binding so much, literally 2 or 3 miles, they're overheating. So I'm going to film what I do there. Whether you're interested in watching it, it's entirely up to you guys, but I'm going to try and be as much in depth with that as I am with this. So hopefully, and then I'll jump back to this afterwards, so I've got some other bits I want to do. So anyway, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below if there's anything you want me to do, or anything that you want to ask. Like I said, I'm not technical, but I might have something that I might be able to help someone with, who knows. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one, guys.